So the leaks for the Samsung Galaxy S26 series are finally here, and let's just say it's not the kind of news Samsung fans were hoping for. A new image has surfaced, and it pretty much confirms what the earlier renders hinted at. These phones are not going to win any beauty contests. Yes, I'm talking about the Galaxy S26 lineup, and according to what we've seen so far, they might actually be some of the ugliest Galaxy flagships yet. Now, I know design is subjective. Some of you might look at these images and think, hey, they don't look so bad, but personally, I think Samsung may have dropped the ball this time. Let's break it down model by model, starting with the Galaxy S26 Ultra, which is supposed to be the crown jewel of the series. This phone looks more like a step back in time than a step forward. The Galaxy S25 Ultra already got rid of Samsung's iconic boxy shape last year, and I wasn't a huge fan of that redesign, but at least it still looked modern. The S26 Ultra, on the other hand, looks dated, almost like a phone that should have been released years ago. And the main reason? That massive, awkward-looking camera bump. It just doesn't look sleek, and when you compare it side by side with the S25 Ultra, the new design feels like a downgrade. Next, the Galaxy S26 Pro, apparently what Samsung is calling the base model this time around. It follows the same design language as the Ultra, but in a slightly smaller form. Unfortunately, that also means it inherits the same bulky, clunky look. Honestly, nothing about it screams 2025 flagship. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The Galaxy S26 Edge, out of all three models, this one actually looks the best, or at least the least offensive. It has a sleeker profile and feels somewhat inspired by Apple's latest iPhone 17 Pro. If you like what Apple did with their redesign, but you prefer Android, the Edge might actually be the one phone from this series that makes sense. So, overall impressions? The S26 lineup looks outdated compared not only to last year's models, but also to what other brands are offering right now. And that's a big deal, because Samsung has always been known for blending powerful hardware with premium, futuristic design. This time, it feels like they've lost their edge, no pun intended. But before we write these phones off completely, let's talk about what's under the hood. Because design isn't everything. The Galaxy S26 Ultra is going to pack the brand new Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 2 chipset globally. Yes, globally. That means no matter where you live, whether it's the US, Europe, or Asia, you'll be getting the same top-tier Snapdragon chip. That's a major shift from Samsung's usual strategy of splitting Snapdragon and Exynos between different regions. The Ultra is finally consistent worldwide, and that's something to be excited about. As for the S26 Pro and the S26 Edge, they'll go back to the hybrid approach. Depending on your region, you might get a Snapdragon version, or you might end up with an Exynos-powered one. Not everyone will love that, but at least the Ultra is breaking the pattern. Now, let's get into the camera situation, because that's one area where Samsung is still pushing forward. The S26 Ultra isn't getting a brand new sensor, but it is getting a wider aperture. That's likely the reason behind that new oversized camera bump we've been complaining about. A wider aperture means more light hits the sensor, which should translate into brighter, clearer shots, especially in low light. So while the design might not win you over, the photos just might, if you're someone who prioritizes photography over looks. This could be a solid reason to consider the S26 Ultra. It may not be the prettiest phone on the block, but it could still be one of the most capable when it comes to capturing those important moments. So, where does that leave us? Honestly, it's a mixed bag. The Galaxy S26 Ultra looks outdated and bulky, and the Pro doesn't offer much excitement either. But the Edge has potential. It's got a cleaner look, and it's a solid option if you admire the iPhone 17 Pro's design but want to stay with Android. And when you factor in the upgraded performance and camera improvements, these phones might still appeal to people using older Galaxy models like the S24 or even the S25. At the end of the day, though, it comes down to what you value more, looks or performance. If you want a phone that looks fresh and futuristic, the S26 series might disappoint you. But if you care about raw power, better photos, and sticking with Samsung's ecosystem, there's still a lot to like here. So tell me, what do you think of the Galaxy S26 design? Do you agree that it looks outdated, or do you actually like the new direction Samsung is going in? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because I'm curious to see where everyone stands on this one.